Skybox here. Welcome to the Ultimate Team Deep Dive. Now, I know people are already loading up on their keyboard right now, like ready to insult me for even thinking about playing Ultimate Team, but we are going to be playing that mode, Dynasty, obviously, in NCAA. So they did a deep dive, and I did give it a once over. And let's just say, like, on the overview, like, everything on top, it's pretty similar to Madden's Ultimate Team. I don't think there's much deviation here. A little things obviously will be different. Some positives, some negatives, but if you've played Madden Ultimate Team in the last couple years, this is going to make a lot of sense to you. There are some cool additions. We saw that in the Maximum Football 25 beta. To game modes and stuff, so that's really nice, right? Something that like the MLB The Show community has been begging for the last few years. Madden has done pretty well bringing in new game modes, and there's a few more this year, and they got it in college football. So we'll go to that when we get to it. All right, right away, like this is just introductory, right? Like I'm not gonna go ahead and like give you like the first grade overview of what Ultimate Team is. Get cards, play with cards on the field, right? You can acquire cards through packs or auction house. The auction house is in the game. Luckily, they didn't go the 2K route. No trade block though, sadly, since I haven't been, that like it's like Harambe and trade block right there, neck and neck with each other with the things that changed America. So, getting it started, they're gonna have NFL players in it. Obviously, every single NFL player played in college, except for didn't one guy get drafted out of the CFL this year? I don't remember his name. So I guess not every NFL player, but the ones that we know, the ones that I can name, generally all came from college. So that makes a lot of sense that they'd be there. And, EA's got the rights from the NFLPA, so it makes sense they'd be there and they'd fill up a lot of the game mode. Challenges and objectives. These are just solos. You play them with your Ultimate Team, get coins, get some small rewards, get some low play 70. No, I love this. Solos are oftentimes made fun of for not being rewarded enough, and like on their featured tier, it's a 79 overall player. Now we'll see what the highest overall player is on launch, but it ain't gonna start with a 70. I'll tell you that. They have 100 challenges to start, and like challenges. I think they're maybe like labor intensive for EA to put into the game. So 100 challenges, and like generally they're like moments and stuff, so you can blow through them pretty quick. But like later on with the new game modes, we'll kind of talk about that, like offline seasons and stuff that you can kind of do a little bit more and put more time in offline. It's kind of something that we've asked for quite some time, and I'm glad they delivered on it. Coins everywhere, but not a drop to drink, right? Like coins everywhere. But you're not going to get any of them from challenges. Like, does EA not know the end of that sentence? Like when you're out in the middle of the ocean and you want water, you can't drink it, right? It's the same thing with, like, there are coins everywhere, but you ain't getting them from EA. kind of a hilarious phrase that they don't think we know the second half of that. There's nothing really there said other than there's an auction house. You can get the new players. Building college football Ultimate Team. You got bench spots, generate best lineup, scheme chemistry. Okay, scheme chemistry. So here's what it looks like. Very much like the Madden screens. Overall players, you got different styles and stuff and chemistry options, which is cool. So they've added like this kind of stuff, which is a throwback to like the Madden 17 era. If you guys recall, cards back then, cards back then had like schemes built on them, and then you kind of matched them up that way, which I thought's like, it was okay. I think it wasn't my favorite, but I think if you could combine 17 and current, which it looks like they're doing, and I'll show that in a second, it might work okay, right? Because like the annoyances in 17 and before is if like a card came out and it was a guy you really loved, like, oh my God, Mean Joe Green came out, but hey, wait a second, he's a 4-3 scheme, and my current Steelers are a 3-4, so he's not going to get the chemistry boost, so he's not going to be as good as he should. Now, we'll see what chemistry boosts and how much they actually boost cards, and if it matters that much, but like, that was one of the annoyances of like, cards would come out, and they just, it wouldn't be for your team, and you'd be like, all right, well, I can't use 3/4 of the cards in the game. for that purpose. Chemistry is an important part of team building and often makes a good team great. In college football, Ultimate Team, you reach higher chemistry tiers by putting players in alignment with matching chemistries to boost that player's attributes. Scheme and team chemistries will play a role in building your team. With 134 team chemistries and 19 total offensive and defensive scheme chemistries. So now I can already foresee like the complaints about whenever a card comes out not having the right scheme chemistry. Release Joe Montana with a gunslinger team chemistry or freaking pistol. I don't know. It wouldn't be it. Anyways, the weird thing I saw. Okay. All player items in playbooks will be associated with one of the following schemes count towards your scheme chem. As you reach scheme chem requirements, have them in your lineup. Players of matching chemistry will gain attribute boosts. Here are the offensive and defensive schemes. Oh yeah, so veer and shoot, spread option, air raid, run and shoot, pro style option, spread pistol, multiple power spread. Which scheme suits your play style, run and shoot or air raid, defensive schemes, yada yada yada. Okay. Did I pass it or oh yeah, okay, I haven't got to it yet. Playbooks. There's some solos, some offensive solos, they call them scheme trials, where you can unlock playbooks. W. So you don't have to spend it on the auction house for certain different types of playbooks. Go ahead and do those solos. Team chemistry. You'll want to consider a player's team chemistry when building a roster. All player items will have default team chem from the school they represent. Okay? And now here's where we get a little funky. With the transfer portal having a large impact on college football, we're going to allow you to have favorite players from all over the country in your team, meaning player items will have access to all 134 team chems. Oh, wait, you guys can't see that. I don't know if I like that. You could go crazy with Ohio State Buckeyes team full of Michigan Wolverines, but you didn't do that, right? I don't love it. I like the team building aspect, but I will say this. It doesn't really eliminate my desire for more, like, so I don't really have like a college football team, but like I got like a NFL team, the Steelers. And I want more Steelers released, and I always, ask for more Steelers released and stuff because I'm selfish. So, like, this right here kind of eliminates that for most people because, like, you can obviously fill out your team chemistry just by, like, putting in backups from anybody, which I think is okay, right? Because oftentimes, like, EA just doesn't release enough, like, left guards, right guards, fullbacks, fourth defensive tackles, that kind of thing. And so, like, the guys that will never see your field and never play on it, and they'll still get it. So, that's neat, but, like, it also kind of kills it, in my opinion, a little bit, right? Because if everybody has the team chemistry boosts, that means nobody has any boosts. And like, a lot of these, like, they set it above, right? Like, fit your play style and stuff. So, I will see how it plays out. I'm not going to complain, and I think it'll be neat, but it's just like, it's like one of those things where it takes away the customization of lineups, and it's not something that I'm like overly like bent out about, but I feel like I like the depth to team building and making sacrifices, right? Like say you got like a Tyreek Hill, and maybe you get a speed bonus on him by going with a certain team chemistry, scheme chemistry, but you're gonna have crazy holes on your offensive line. So basically, like, the whole point of the team building, make one player really good, is to have the weaknesses elsewhere. And basically, you're not having that trade-off. You're not having that detriment to elsewhere in your roster where you got to play with crappy cards in order to boost one really high. And so I think that's like my only, like, hey man, I don't know if I like this. Everybody gets every single team chem, right? Feels like communism, eh? Better red than dead. So there, I'll see how it plays out though. I'm not gonna hate it right away. That's just kind of my thoughts around it right now. So yeah, here's the selected chemistry. Every single we're in the V's, W's, U's right there. Understanding player items. So very similar menu look to Madden, where you put your 5 training in, then you get your abilities that you can unlock. Michael Penix Jr. Nice, that's kind of cool. Chemistry W, and was that option? I can't read. I'm blind. Player item fronts. With high-powered offenses all over the country, it's important to have a defensive scheme that makes you and your players shine. Also, Oil. Oil can make them shine. We've seen teams with great success, messy personnel, creative ways, 3-5. Okay, this is just a bunch of yada yada yada. I thought there's gonna be something more there. Alright, player item fronts highlight key attributes based off the archetype and position of the player. Overall, it's a great way to see sense player's ability. Sometimes you want to see key attributes at a glance. Item rarities. So we're gonna go gray, green, blue, purple, gold. Okay. I like it. Legendary is gold. Nice. There's not. That's nothing. But I, you know, whatever. You know what? Right off the bat, what I'm noticing is every attribute's in the 70s and 80s. You know, I've often been of like, MLB The Show, I feel like gets it right. I really do. Where like, if you're slow, they got guys with 0 speed out here. Obviously, 0 implies they're not moving at all, but it's just slow. So it looks like we're starting in the 70s and going up. But that's kind of how football games always have been. Like, I remember back in the day, there were like memes about it, right? Like before like memes took over the internet. Like some of the earliest memes I remember is like somebody getting angry and being like the lowest rated Madden player was like in the 50s overall. Something, I think it was a fake letter to John Madden. Like somebody just like memed about it. But like if you get ratings in the 50s in Madden, you're pissed. So like what would NFL players or college players seeing their ratings in like the single digits be? Although MLB players, I didn't see them complain too much. All right. Abilities equipped at the back. Yeah, so a lot of this is just kind of showing a lot of the UI off here too. Abilities, pull down bronze, slightly improved ability to not fumble and setting in the pocket. So we see bronze. We know obviously college abilities are different than the pros. There's no X factors, but like X factors were never the issue, right? A lot of people say this about the game is like X factor this, X factor that. X factors, like sometimes on X factors, they were only a problem when they were like always on, right? When they were more like abilities, when they activated at the start, like Dickerson's 100, Moss's Moss ability. That's the only time X factors were ever like relevant in my mind. Like last year, I wouldn't even equip X factors on cards. Like that's how much I didn't care about it. Okay, and it wasn't until we saw the X factors put as abilities that we saw them. So like the always on abilities are way more worrisome. And I've said this from day one. This is like Madden 17 era. No, Madden 20 era, 1920 era. Anyways, when they showed off X factors, people were like going crazy about Mahomes being able to throw the ball 80 yards with the bazooka, right? Everyone was angry. I was like, no. If you ever played any sort of like games in any depth, it's the ones that are like consistent that have the most power level. Like a power level spike for a couple plays, like getting things on, like say Omaha, the worst ability ever, right? Basically Bill Belichick level cheats. Okay, getting it after you've already beaten a guy that bad, like you're gonna win the game anyways, right? Like after like, you know, basically putting him in the headlock and pounding their face, like you're in charge of the fight. Okay, so those didn't worry me, but like these always on stuff do. And obviously bringing a whole bunch of new ones, it'll be a whole bunch of new tests for us to see which ones are broken. So I'm kind of excited for that, but I'm sure it'll lead to some degenerate gameplay. But as we've all played Madden 24 at the end of the year, it's going to be tough to get worse than Vanguard's Omaha and man press bottleneck bench coverage, which is like the worst metas. Running and man coverage metas are the worst metas in Madden, in my opinion. They're easiest, right? Running is just pressing the thumbstick forward. Just like Counter-Strike is clicking heads only. Too easy. Whatever. You have a choice to unlock multiple abilities in a player. Abilities can be turned into the active lineup. AP amount, so they haven't really changed anything as far as ability point limits. You can only put so many ability points, and every ability's got its own point number. Upgrade tab, so that's kind of normal. Programs, live content update, look for new challenges. All right, so here's some of the programs. Ultimate Alumni, which are returning to their stomping grounds in Season 1. Top players from previous college entries will make an appearance and give opposing fan headaches when they play. Man, they got a lot of, like, vamp. Isn't that called vamping? They got a lot of, like, sentences that are just hype sentences in here, which is fair. I mean, it's their blog. They want to hype stuff up. So, like, all right. Ultimate Alumni players, Bowers, Corum, these are current NFL players. These guys just drafted, versed, Adonai Mitchell, J.C. Latham. You know, a lot of people like kind of poo-pooed on Latham pick, but man, dude, Callahan is a crazy offensive line coach. So I'm like, I think if any other team drafted him, I'd be like, huh. Because every draft analyst thought it was a reach, but I was like, that's Callahan. And that's a guarantee. Peyton Wilson, oh! Pittsburgh Steelers! All right, and then we have Quinyon Mitchell here. All right, conference stories of the week. Leading up to the season, we'll be highlighting incredible stories and players are part of them. New challenges, player sets available. Cool. Jonathan Jefferson. Wait. So, stories of the week are basically like current conference stuff. In case you missed it, our old games and cool stuff, perfect season program. So like these are like cool programs they're kind of showing off some of the card art will go with it. Joey Bosa still looks like we're getting 85 on launch. Is this the highest overall card we've seen? 80 speed Bosa. It'll be interesting to see what they do with speed, right? Defensive ends being 80 speed. Because Peyton Wilson ran like was it 4.4? 77 speed. Peyton Wilson should not be 77 speed with his 40 on launch. And Bosa. Only 3 overall higher, but 3 speed higher. I don't like that. I like that when the stats represent who the player is, rather than like there's a certain stat range per overall. That kind of we've gone to in more newer Ultimate teams. Legends. All right, so they also have Legends. This is kind of like, it looks like Legends are like retired from the NFL type of Legends, because I would consider Christian McCaffrey a legend of NCAA. So they could add NFL players that are currently active into their legend programs. And they'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But it doesn't seem like they could do that still. I don't know. I'm kind of talking nonsense, I feel like. It's just one example. That's Fox getting foxy with it. So, by the way, I haven't praised. Oh, yes. Card art is actually back. Plus, it actually looks like a card that maybe Topps would have put out. Please, get a deal with Topps. Get a deal with one of these card makers and like bring me like 2002 Ray Lewis. What years was he on at Miami? Give me the year they played and give me the card art from that year, please. It's something sorely missing from this game. I don't know if it'd cost you anything, right? Like it'd help advertise Topps. Would that actually cost you a lot of money? It maybe cost time for your artist to make it in game. You can't just put in one of them fancy dancy scanners. Just scan it in now. Ultimate Team celebrating college football throughout the year. Won't want to miss anything. Live event tab. Stay up to date. All right. Field Pass looks like haven't really changed much this year. Field Pass are basically like battle passes for people that are coming from other games. Sets. You can take low overall cards exchange for higher overall cards. I hope they do something similar to like SBCs more. Give us an option to get like not necessarily the SBC since that's our SBCs, but like give us a pack that's like 81 plus. I realize like some rerolls are kind of like that, but like give us a set that says like, all right, put in 580 overalls and you get an 81 plus. Like I want to get a set where it's not just a set range of like, all right, now you can get it at 85 or 86. I want like all the way up. Maybe I get like a 90 overall out of an 81 plus set. Like I thought that was the best part about SBCs. And then allow us to put in like, since there's no trade block anymore, since you sons of guns took it away, allow us to put non-auctionable cards into sets again. So they do have squads. I know this is a big question. They got squads. There's solo seasons, squad up with friends. So you'll be able to play a season format with the Ultimate Team against AI opponents, 5-0 in your season, get by for playoffs, compete for the championship, and get ready to go. Solo season, complete, repeatable. Offer greater rewards to progress in each season. Ultimate Team also offers solo battles. So solo season, solo battles are different. But like this is perfect. This is perfect for the offline players. Solo seasons are new. Like I've talked about this for quite a while as something to help the offline experience, because like oftentimes you finish your challenges and they only come out with challenges like, you know, like once a week, new stuff like that. And then the solo battles reset every week. But like you could play and you can be done with it, and like what are you gonna do if like you don't want to play online and don't want to face like the cheese and like I don't know why I put quotes around it. There's definitely gonna be some cheese. There always is. if you don't want to play online against other people, you want to just be a relaxing experience with your Ultimate Team, then offline seasons are perfect, right? You can just kind of like turn your brain off, put Twitch on the other monitor, listen to that kind of stuff as you just go ahead and play and have fun running options and throwing the ball offline. So I think this is great in unlimited mode for offline players. The only downside is like bots, but like if the difficulty is hard enough, bots aren't going to win anyways. For those who enjoy playing versus others online, college football the team has more, unless there's an overpowered run play, right? Like unless the run's as overpowered as looked in the gameplay, then you can just run like halfback power over and over. All right, college football ultimate team has more traditional head-to-head seasons. All right, so head-to-head seasons are back. Squads regular seasons back. New way to sweat. There's a gauntlet. Okay. Every Friday, enter the gauntlet to take on the best the mode has to offer online. Become a gauntlet champ by achieving 10 wins, but take 2 losses, and your gauntlet run for the week is over. A ton of great rewards are up for grabs, including coin snatches. So I love it, dude. So like the gauntlet is kind of the new weekend league, but it's 10 wins and only 2 losses. I like it. It's only there Friday and ends at Monday. I think like that's pretty nice because like 10 wins in Madden takes about as long as 20 wins in FIFA. Okay, FIFA games are short, right? They're like what 15 to 20 minutes. At least when I played FIFA, but maybe I play with the clock run on. Wait, doesn't everybody? So Gauntlet 10 wins, take 2 losses and you're out. So like they brought back Weekend League. They named it something different. But it's funny is because MUT Champs, what Weekend League got turned into, is also in the game too. So in Champs, you'll play a maximum of 20 games against others, getting 16 wins. The current week's chance will allow you to enter the Gauntlet, or you can just pay coins for it. So it's like, if I recall, during the Maximum Football 25 beta, not the Madden 25 beta, of course, it was like 50,000 coins, I believe the entry was. So 50,000 coins to entry into the Gauntlet. I thought it was fair. If the rewards are as good as they could be. 50K, make it an actual gamble. An actual risk of coins. If you're working with sweat reading this, you can cool down and talk about house rules. House rules are just different game modes and different rules. Like first one they said on launch, touchdown tangos for 25-yard first down, 14 yards. So I like that there's a bunch of different game modes. Now, obviously, different game modes risk fracturing your player base, but they put crossplay into this game like they put crossplay into Madden. Was that 2 years ago now? So the player bases, at least for online matchups, are larger than ever before. But I don't think we'll have problems. Like dude, even late until like June, July, I still don't have problems queuing in Madden. And they got a bunch of different game modes between all pro seasons, all Madden seasons. I don't think there's no house rules in the game right now. What else they got split in there? MUT Champs is also there. Squads is also there. So it's not bad. Signing off. And there we have it. Ins and Out College Ultimate Team. So that's it. Overall, very similar. The Ultimate Teams are going to look very similar, which I think is a bad idea from EA's standpoint because you risk burning out your audience. There's going to be a large crossover between College Ultimate Team and a Madden Ultimate Team. And I was kind of hoping for more differentiation because the great thing that I love about MLB The Show and Madden is that they're so different. And so it doesn't feel like I'm just doing the same experience season after season. Obviously, year over year it's the same or very similar experiences. But, like, I think they kind of, in final conclusion, they let... And I understand it would have been tough to start from scratch. And it seems like they Control-C, Control-V Madden into college. A lot of this stuff is. And I get it, right? It would have been a large effort to be different for Ultimate Team, but they should have tried to make that effort. I truly wish it was a completely different experience and maybe more resembled MLB The Show to change it up, to throw curveballs and change-ups at Madden. But I don't see this Ultimate Team as different, and I think that's frustrating. And I don't think it's going to, like... It's going to get them a lot of money, obviously, but I don't think it's going to be as good as it could have been if they would have been more innovative from the start. So it sucks that, like, you know, they had how many years to build this since they started on NCAA, and they kind of just Control-C, Control-V from the consumer's perspective. And that's disappointing. That is very disappointing. So that's my thoughts. Is they should have done something wildly different. And I realize, like, in a corporate environment, doing things different, sticking your neck out, can get you fired if it doesn't succeed. But from a consumer standpoint, I would have preferred the risk. But that's the bureaucracy for you. Bye.